and welcome you watching the Wednesday edition of This is Exclusive with me, Shavan. Tonight on This is Exclusive, we expose Pakistan's terror brigade. It's a women's brigade that has been started by Masood Azhar. We're going to put out the evidence of what's really happened and how Pakistan is basically trying to hoodwink the FATF. All this and much more in this edition of This is Exclusive. But up first, let me take you through the headlines we're tracking at this hour. Republic exclusive coming in from Belgium. Choksi's extradition now final. Very little options available before economic fugitive. First, an exclusive pictures of Arthur Road jail barrack number 12 shared by India to Belgium authorities.
जितनी जीविका सीएम दीदियां हैं यानी कम्युनिटी मोबिलाइजर्स हैं, उन सभी सीएम दीदियों को स्थायी कर उन्हें सरकारी कर्मचारी का दर्जा देकर उनके वेतन को 30,000 प्रति माह हम लोग करेंगे।
RJD announces multiple freeways ahead of Bihar Assembly election, says announcement on seat share in Mahagathbandhan soon.
पूरे प्रदेश में महागठबंधन में झगड़े हो गए हैं, कोई झगड़ा नहीं है, सब मिलके ही कैंपेन करेंगे, सब मिलके ही काम करेंगे और जीत के आएंगे। ये माहौल बना।
Congress party infighting continues. There's a firefighting mode that's on with RJD for tackling the crisis. Senior leader earlier called the rift friendly fight. Well, before I get you the breaking news with regards to the big story that we've lined up for you on This is Exclusive, breaking news now coming in with regards to an mid-air scare that has taken place. This is pertaining to an Indigo flight between Kolkata and Varanasi, where there's been a mid-air scare. In fact, an emergency landing has taken place. Indigo flight 6E 6961 from Kolkata to Srinagar made an emergency landing. This is at the Lal Bahadur Shastri International Airport in Varanasi due to a fuel leak. We're being told that all 166 passengers and crew were safely evacuated. Airport authorities are investigating the incident. The situation is under control and normal operations have resumed. I'm just repeating what we know so far. This emergency landing took place a while ago. We'll try and connect with the Varanasi police also to get you the latest details, but this is what we know so far. My colleague Harsha is going to join us on this broadcast, and this is what we know so far. This is the Indigo flight 6E 6961 from Kolkata to Srinagar that has made an emergency landing at Lal Bahadur Shastri International Airport in Varanasi. Now, this is due to a fuel leak. We've been given to understand 166 passengers and crew members have been safely evacuated. Airport authorities are already carrying out the investigation, is what we are being told. The situation appears to be under control and normal operations have resumed, is what we're being told. What we do not know is that whether at all this flight, which was scheduled to leave for Srinagar, has already departed from Varanasi. That is not known at this point in time. Let me bring in my colleague Harsha, who's getting us the latest details. Harsha, what are the details are you picking up? Has the flight actually taken off from Varanasi, or the procedures are still underway?
So the procedures are still underway. Members evacuated. What to do is the of the being done right now, and after the inspection, the aircraft will be allowed to fly again. For the respect that there has been emergency landing at Varanasi airport, there was a fuel leak. There was a fuel leak in Kolkata to Srinagar. Indigo aircraft.
Harsha, I just want to stay with the breaking news now coming in. In fact, this is quite an important development that's actually taken place, but certainly it's a mid-air scare is what we're being told. It's a mid-air scare. Could you tell us what more details are you picking up in terms of the communication that has taken place between the ATC as well as the airline? Because how exactly do we really know that this emergency landing has been directly linked to the fuel leak that has actually taken place?
Shivan, first for all our viewers and everyone to understand that the emergency landing has happened in Varanasi airport and not at Lucknow airport. The flight was en route from Kolkata to Srinagar and it was 35,000 above the flight level, above the sea level. The flight was at FL 350, what we are being told, and it was mid-air scare because the pilot in command immediately saw that there's a fuel leak, and because of the fuel leak, there could be any dangerous incident involving the aircraft, and that therefore it could not go to Srinagar. And that particular point of time, the ATC was immediately informed at Kolkata airport that what to do. We can't reach Srinagar with this fuel leak problem. And that time only the plane, there was a mid-air scare, the plane immediately diverted towards the nearest airport, which was the Varanasi airport. The Indigo flight has been emergency landing at Varanasi airport around 20 minutes back. And what we have learned right now is that all the passengers have completely disembarked. The pilot in command, the crew, everyone has disembarked. And right now the entire investigation and the fuel leak checks in the Indigo aircraft is taking place. What more details are being sent by Indigo is that there has been no any passengers or were safely evacuated. The alternate is being arranged, and if not today, there will be proper cancellation fee to be refunded to all the passengers who have seating. They will be given accommodation also as well. If they want to cancel their flight, the entire amount will be also refunded. But right now, all the passengers are safe. This particular flight right now, Shavan, can't fly to Srinagar today, what we are learning right now from the Indigo sources.
One final question before I let you go, Harsha. Do we know the type of the aircraft that has developed this technical snag? Was it an Airbus or a Boeing aircraft?
So, Shavan, this was an Airbus. It's Airbus 320, which Indigo uses in 90% of the aircraft which Indigo is using right now domestically is Airbus 320 or 350. Indigo doesn't use Boeing, but this particular aircraft, it was earlier also has flown to Srinagar and different beds in the northern region. But this is twice or four times when this technical snag has occurred in this particular aircraft. We are trying to find more about the technical snag related to this particular body of the Indigo aircraft, Airbus 320, but right now the emergency landing because of the fuel leak is the major issue. It has been told to us that in the North Street, in the margins of the fuel, there was the maintenance of it says no defect.
We seem to be having some problem, Harsha, with your phone line. I'm told that Group Captain Bajpai is joining us. Group Captain Bajpai, a fuel leak that has now been reported on an Airbus aircraft of the Indigo. Could you just help us understand how scary this could actually be for all the passengers? Because it seems that the fuel leak was reported when the aircraft had already taken off.
Savan, good evening to you and to millions of your viewers. As you are reporting, on Indigo flight, in-flight turn back or emergency landing has been carried out due to the fuel leak. It is extremely serious issue. This fuel leak is the biggest enemy for the safety of the aircraft, because you know the engines are running, and that time the temperature of the engine, inside engine and surrounding engines could be as high as 800 to 900 degrees centigrade. And in case aircraft catches fire because of this fuel leak, there won't be any survivor. It is extremely serious. Now they have to investigate in detail what has caused this fuel leak? Was there any maintenance work was performed on the engine fuel system or the pipelines which are carrying the fuel to the engine? So this particular thing is to be investigated and it is to be checked in detail by the flight safety department of the Indigo. They have to take it very seriously. The maintenance team and the flight safety team of the Indigo have to put down their hats and they have to investigate and they should initiate all possible measures to avoid any such future incident. It's an extremely serious incident.
Thank you very much, Group Captain Bajpai. A story that we'll be tracking very closely because, remember, as our aviation expert, Group Captain Bajpai, has been pointing out, this could have been disastrous. Certainly, right decisions taken at the right time and the passengers are now safe. Shifting focus now to the big story that we're getting to you tonight on This Is Exclusive. Ladies and gentlemen, yet again, Pakistan's attempt to hoodwink the FATF. A few weeks ago on This Is Exclusive, we actually showed you the tactics that was basically employed by the Pakistanis in terms of movement of the terror bases in Pakistan. Now, there is a new terror tactic that has been employed. Recruitment of women. This comes with the direct blessing of Jaish chief Masood Azhar. In fact, family members of Masood Azhar is also involved in this entire recruitment process that has been carried out. And this time, women are essentially being targeted. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight on This Is Exclusive, we're going to take you through the details of what is being called as the Tufat al-Muminat. It's an online jihadi course that has been started by the Jaish-e-Mohammed to recruit women. In fact, Masood Azhar's sisters, as well as Omar Farooq, the man who carried out the Pulwama attack, his wife, are going to be part of this women brigade. Each participant or each recruit has to pay 500 Pakistani rupees. And it turns out that this is yet another attempt that has been made by the Pakistanis to hoodwink the FATF by saying that these are online courses that are being done. But remember, these courses are essentially being done by a UN designated terror group, that is the Jaish-e-Mohammed. First, take a look at this detailed report and then we bring in our experts on the story.
Pakistan's new terror tactic, Jaish-e-Mohammed has launched an online course under the guise of religious teachings. The course titled Tufat al-Munimat is being projected as a faith-based learning program, but behind it lies a strategic plan to expand Jaish's women's wing, Jamaat ul-Muminat. The online module is an attempt to indoctrinate women and recruit them into Jaish ranks. Recruitment is set to begin on November 8th, with Jaish terrorist Masood Azhar's sister Sadia and Samaira Azhar fronting the program. Under the pretext of a donation, participants are asked to pay 500 Pakistani rupees and fill out detailed personal information forms. This is just a clear shift in Pakistan's terror module, from guns and camps to keyboards and chat rooms, using digital cover-ups to revive terror networks. As Pakistan tries to disguise its new terror brigade, the world is once again reminded that the epicenter of terror is now masking its agenda behind a digital veil.
Tonight on This Is Exclusive, we have General Shokeen Chauhan. Thank you very much, General Chauhan, for joining us on this broadcast. Tonight on This Is Exclusive, we are uncovering yet another attempt that has been made by the Pakistanis to hoodwink the FATF. As we understand, General Chauhan, this time an online donation campaign is being started. Help us understand, what's this new terror tactic of the Pakistanis?
Shwin, thank you for calling me to your show. It's a very serious situation. Actually, during our retaliation in Op Sindoor, what we had destroyed the Bahawalpur headquarters of Muhammad Maulana Asad. And because we destroyed that, he lost almost everything. And he is now hiding somewhere in Gilgit-Baltistan or or Balochistan. He be probably hiding there. Now, it's obvious that his group has been hit very hard by us, and they are looking for different kinds of recruits. They're looking for fundraising, and this is the only way they find they can do some fundraising. So his sisters, Samaira, she's the main head of this. She has been spearheading this issue about training and indoctrinating the wives of the terrorists and the indoctrinated jihadis. So this is her idea, and this is how they've started it. An online course, they're paying 500 Pakistani rupees, an online donation, so that they can restart. But the main idea is, Shwed, is that we have hit them very, very hard, and we will continue to hit them hard. This is a movement that was natural. It was a situation that was very natural, that would have happened sometime or the other. The movement from jihad to keyboards, from Kalashnikov to keyboards, is a movement that's going to take place. Pakistan is not only training these jihadis, it is going in a very, very big manner in bringing in these jihadi crypto warriors. So the future attacks on us would not just be physical attacks, would not just be attacks on our population, would also be attacks on our infrastructure, on our cyber, on everything. So we should expect that these Pakistan Army assisted jihadi warriors are going to be hitting us in every possible manner. And we must be very careful about this. They're using this to indoctrinate the women. Women are the least suspected targets, and they also have the ability to get away or to get away undetected. So in many ways, they're moving to a new form. But this was only natural. And I can tell you, Shwen, that we are absolutely clear about the fact how this is moving, and we're being very careful. I'm sure our establishment is being very careful in dealing with these people, and we're going to be further careful in how we deal with the women who are involved in this particular kind of jihadi crimes.
Jen Chauhan, this appears to have been modeled on the lines of ISIS and Hamas, which has been running a women terror brigade. From your understanding, someone who has seen very closely counterintelligence and has handled issues like this, I want to understand from you, what's the aim here? Because this is a departure from what we have seen in the past. Jaish-e-Mohammed now recruiting women, Lashkar-e-Toiba recruiting women, modeling it completely to that of ISIS and Hamas. It seems that something is brewing right now.
You're right, Shwen. I told you that. It's a movement that is taking the course of the system. You see, what is happening is that this war, like ISIS did, this war is moving into the cybersphere. And the Pakistani jihadis are only taking advantage of that. The Pakistani army has, over the last many years, been training these jihadi crypto warriors to attack India and to continuously attack India on all forms, in all fronts. So not only are they doing it physically, they're doing it cyber. They're doing it in every possible manner. They're doing it to try and, change the loyalties of our population, of a certain sector of our population. They're doing online, just as the ISIS did, they're doing online recruitment. They're doing online indoctrination. So this is a movement that these jihadi warriors have taken from there. And this is a very dangerous phase, because now we come to a point at which we may not know who is indoctrinated and who is not, because they're obviously doing it over apps or undetected apps. And we may not know, and this could sort of trigger lone warrior, lone jihadi attacks on us, on people we don't know. Normally our intelligence keeps great check on people who are trying this, but through this particular way, they're trying to involve different sections of our population to indoctrinate them, and then finally to convince them to attack the infrastructure of India.
Jen Chauhan, thank you very much for joining us and making your debut on This Is Exclusive. Thank you very much for putting this into perspective. Something brewing, but our eyes are on every possible development that's taking place in Pakistan. A clear change as far as tactics are concerned. All attempts now being made by the Pakistanis to hoodwink international agencies. Well, that's all that we could pack in this edition of This Is Exclusive. Coming up, trending with my colleague Rakshita.